I was already married when I did my first film. लोगों को लगा कि पता नहीं यहाँ रहती है नहीं रहती है काम करेगी नहीं करेगी अरे but she's married. I do not want to play the woman card at all. In the name of being a bold part, there was other things expected of me. I want to do an action film. I want to be the Indian Lara Croft. Things were not very smooth at that point for me personally.
Chitrangada Singh is an actor who arrived 20 years ago in 2005 with promise. She stayed with purpose, endured with grace. Her career never followed a straight line. There were pauses, disruptions, career choices that never served the marketplace entirely, but which did serve her conscience. She's been admired, desired, debated, and even underestimated. But all through, her work has been quietly assured, her presence unmistakable. Today at 50, she lends dignity and elegance to every role she plays. And you have to admit, beauty and interest to every frame she inhabits, which proves that substance, when it survives, deepens. Let's meet the gorgeous lady and wonderful actress herself. Chitrangada, welcome to Benchmark Conversations with me, Mark Manuel. Chitrangada. Have I got it right?
Chitrangada.
Chitrangada.
So it's not the, it's
da.
the.
The.
The se, I don't know, the se dimag.
Chitrangada. Right? No.
I'm so sorry. No, it is the. Like the parliament.
The parliament, okay.
So Chitrangada.
Chitrangada.
Correct. On that we can start.
You arrived with tremendous promise 20 years ago in 2005. Do you feel when you step back, when you look back, that the industry has failed you at crucial times? Or did you kind of step back before it could totally claim you?
Oh God, that's such a heavy question. I think it'd be unfair if I said the industry failed me because so my first break was 7 years long after my debut film.
I'm coming to that.
And 7 years is a long time. And the fact that at that point it was Farhan Akhtar who was doing a film and he was trying to reach me. So Niharika Khan, who was the designer on that film, it was a period film. It didn't get made, but he was looking and then he asked Niharika to find my phone number because I had changed my phone number. So she got in touch because she knew a friend of ours in Chandigarh through a golfing circuit, and that's how. So I don't think they failed me because I think they were still trying to reach out. So it'd be wrong if I said they failed me. I stepped back for whatever my personal reasons were at that point, and yeah, before they could claim me, I suppose, like you said. So yeah, no, I think I am very, very grateful for the fact that every time I took a long break and then a short break and then I came back, I still got work and they kind of remembered me, and
Why did you take these breaks? You gave an interview a couple of days ago and you talked about this.
Yeah.
Where you said you've taken breaks and then people forget about you if you're not there in their
Yes.
eye, in the public eye.
Yes.
People forget about you. But you never explained why you took these breaks.
Okay, so I was already married when I did my first film, and that was supposed to be a one-off thing that I was going to do. And then, I don't think my family back there was ready for me to move to another city, and things were, how do I say, not very smooth at that point for me personally. So I had to kind of step back and make sure that I make things good back home. work on, your married life and your personal life and things like that. So at that point, I felt that was my priority. So I took time off, and then it became 7 years. Yeah.
But why haven't you talked about this before? Because people have always wondered. You were there. I mean, you do a movie a year. You do two a year. Your first year, your debut year, 2005, you did two films, and then you did nothing for 3 years, 2 years, directly 2008. There was nothing in
Actually, you know
between.
what? No, 2005 the film released, but I left work in 2002 because that's when the film was ready.
Okay,
So I had stopped right after that. So it was almost whatever 7 years. Then I came back 2008 9. It was, I think. So
2008.
yeah. Sorry, Bhai was 2009. I think, wasn't it?
No, I'm looking at the timeline that says in 2005
Yeah.
you had two releases, and the next one in 2008.
Okay. No, we had started shooting the film much early, so it released much later,
Okay.
and I'd left work before that. But yeah, I mean the reason why, because it was all personal reasons. They were all personal reasons. They were all about, my family, my marriage, and things like that, which I at that point wanted to step back and look after, and sort of make things work at that point, which is why.
The industry celebrates comebacks. When an actor comes back after a long period, they celebrate that. But you never really went away. Do you feel that inconsistency is forgiven in the men actors, but not in women?
Not for women.
Yeah. But it's always questioned when a woman is
I
concerned.
don't think so,
You don't think so?
honestly. No, I don't think so. In fact, I'll tell you what. So I left for whatever that time, came back, did some work. I again took a break because my family life was going through a little bit of a roller coaster at that point. So every time I'd step back, and I wasn't completely here. I was shuttling a lot between the cities at that point, which is why a lot of times लोगों को लगा कि पता नहीं यहाँ रहती है नहीं रहती है काम करेगी नहीं करेगी अरे but she's married, oh but she's there and that. So there was all this going on. Despite that, I feel that I still managed to do some good work, and some good filmmakers have come to me, despite that. So and that is when I think female actors have a much shorter shelf life. Men still have a much longer one, right? Despite that, I think the industry has come back and given me work and taken me back in and appreciated my work. More than anything, I think the audiences didn't forget me. So I think I have a lot to be grateful for. I do not want to play the woman card at all and say that it's easier for men than women, because I think I've got a fair amount of work and fair amount of love. So सच में ऐसा मुझे लगता नहीं है.
You've never, this is the first time I think you're addressing your marriage. You've
Yes.
talked about it. Do you think that women in the public eye are expected to keep their lives private in the name of respectability?
Okay. I don't know why you're insisting men, women so much.
Because the men get away with it, no?
I don't think so. मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि even men, for the same reason of respectability, if things are not going well, shouldn't speak about it, because दो लोगों का मतलब, it's with two people, right?
Yeah.
You can't sit and give your side of the story without having the other one speak. It's about two people,
Yeah.
right? I think everybody should keep their lives private as much as possible. बिकॉज अगर कुछ भी लिखा जाएगा, कुछ भी कोई ट्रोल होगा, कोई कमेंट होगा, सम जर्नलिस्ट वांट्स टू राइट समथिंग, हिज पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, it will hurt too many people, and it is too personal. That jab is like right here. It's not fair. क्योंकि मैं तो कल बैठ के नहीं देने वाली इंटरव्यू की, ओ बट दैट गाय, दैट पर्सन हैज रिटन दिस, ओ द ट्रोल हैज रिटन दिस, आई रेड दिस इज माई क्लैरिफिकेशन. आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू बी डूइंग दैट. तो जिसने जो बोल दिया, इट्स आउट देयर, एंड it is considered truth till somebody comes and denies it. So it's not fair. That's the only reason. It's not like I mean, there's no shame. It's not like I'm trying to hide. Of course, I'm married. I've been married and I have a son and I'm a mother. And I'm very, very proud of it because I've lived life and I've gone through experiences. And they're very important experiences for me. There's nothing to be ashamed of, nothing that I'm trying to hide. I've had some of the best time in my life. And I think it's the proudest, thing to be a mother. It's the most fulfilling feeling. I feel like my life changed after becoming a mother. It's it changes your perspective on perspective on everything, on failure, on success, on it's like it's the best thing. But the same thing, if I go out and speak, तो बहुत तरह के लोग बहुत कुछ कह सकते हैं, which will not just hurt me, it'll hurt my son. And why would I want to do that? It's a very cruel
He's
world.
he's 18.
He's 18 now, yeah.
You're blessed with remarkable strength and the courage of your convictions. What does your teenage son understand about this strength that perhaps the world does not get?
About the strength.
Yeah, this inner strength that you've got, it's there within you, no? You've been through a lot. You've been through the fires, as they say.
Uh, what does he think? तो मुझे exactly पता नहीं because we've never really spoken about this. But I think he's very proud of me, and a lot of times, if I show him something, yeah, pata nahi, I don't know if I'll be able to do this. How is this looking? If I send him a picture, is this looking good? Or some shot from a scene of the film or whatever, and he'd always be like, "Mama, yeah, why do you overthink? This is too good." Or or if it's bad, he'll say like, "I don't think this is that good. This is not working." So yeah, like I think we have a very friendly sort of banter, and I think he kind of knows that. Yeah, I got this. And slowly, I think as he's growing up, there's a lot of times, more often do I hear him say, "You were right about this," than he used to say back then. अब ज़्यादा सुनने को मिलता है, "You are right, you're right." Earlier he'd be obviously, "You
So,
don't know anything." Just
so
like
he's
that.
becoming a fan from a critic.
Fan तो नहीं है. Fan, I hope not. My God, I don't want my son to be my fan. No. I think I'm his fan now. But critic, he'll always be my critic. And I think that's the best thing, to have the most honest, sort of feedback from someone. Yeah. Like the other day, I put something on my story, and he wrote me back on my DM, Instagram, "You've really been working out." So I'm like, yes, I have been working out.
You have
So
been.
yeah.
I wanted to ask you this, but later on, since you talked about working out,
Yeah.
you have a background in home science.
Yeah.
You studied nutrition and food.
Yes.
So has that kind of helped you to stay in this incredible shape?
No.
No.
No. I mean, this is just, it's workout, it's eating right. I don't know if that kind of information helps you, but it's always been something that I've been interested in. Yeah. So that's why I took food and nutrition. I thought I'll become a dietitian or something. Yeah.
You mentioned age earlier. You talked about your age. You're 50,
Yes. Turning next
50.
year.
Next year you'll be 50. You conduct yourself with remarkable dignity at that age. Do you feel more free now or more invisible?
More free. I think I feel more free to be myself. Yeah, that's the feeling I get, because I think it takes a long time for you to understand who you are, and understand that the beauty is in being who you are, not trying to be someone else. I mean, पहले आप सुनते हैं ये सब चीज़ें, लेकिन ऐसा लगता है कि lines हैं, like you see somebody in a pageant saying, "Be yourself."
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay. Wow, what a line. But it takes a long time for you to live it and understand that it is the most beautiful thing that you can do to yourself, is to be yourself, and have that quiet confidence about who you are. I think that's how I feel today. Yeah.
So is the industry finally catching up with the woman you really are? Or are you still waiting to be fully seen?
I think I'm waiting to be fully seen. I think I had a bout of it when I was doing films like Inkar and Ye Sali Zindagi, and then also dabbling with the Desi Boys or doing a song and dance. I think I do have a range and a spectrum, which I haven't yet fully explored. I think I can go to both ends of the spectrum, and that I feel is is very fulfilling for me as an actor. Just having to be stuck to just one end of the spectrum is not something I would be completely happy with. So yeah, I think I have a lot in me to do still. Yeah,
Plenty left still.
I think so.
There are actors who succeed
Hmm.
despite very mediocre performances.
Hmm.
And there are actors like you give really talented performances, but yet their films fail.
Hmm.
Do you feel that talent has got nothing to do with this, or it is
There's a lot of destiny, I think, Mark. A lot of destiny in that.
talent is
Um,
not the deciding factor?
Talent is to quite an extent, but I think there is so much more that goes into, like, you will see even in the past, if you look at the history of cinema, it's not always the most talented who've become the biggest stars,
Okay.
it's always a lot to do with destiny. It's to do with somehow those films became huge hits and the timing was right. There's so many such stories that you will hear. So yeah, I think it's probably one of those. But having said that, I feel I don't know if you will wait for that timing to happen somehow. All you can do is work and try and do good work. I'm not trying to say that, oh, like, it doesn't matter. Of course it matters. Commercial success is everything. It does matter. But you can't run after it at the same time. It's a weird kind of um, like a catch 22 there. If
Okay.
you run after it, you don't get it. And the day you stop running, it'll suddenly happen to you. So I don't know what's the way to go about it, but you're right. Definitely, destiny and timing has a huge thing to. I mean, huge talent is definitely not everything. No.
Have you ever lost a role because the director felt that you were opinionated or difficult to handle?
Uh,
Not,
is that who I am?
I'm asking you.
I don't think I'm that person. No, I
You
don't
aren't.
think I'm difficult to handle. I think I'm all for the film completely. I mean, in fact, when I start working on a film, I am so sort of,
There's
involved in it. Like it becomes like I care for the whole film. It's not like I'll be like, "Arey, meri line kidhar hai?" I'll be like, "Arey, iski zarurat nahi hai." I'd be a bit like that. I don't think
there's a
so.
certain aura around you. You get that?
I have heard some people say that. Yeah, yeah.
I didn't mean that. It is also because of your personality. You carry yourself in a certain way that kind of maybe intimidates a director. No, you've not felt that.
I don't think so.
No.
No, I don't think so. I haven't been
You
told
you
that.
you
No.
haven't been told that. Okay, you turn heads effortlessly. Yeah, you get that.
Probably. I mean, see, I'll tell you what I've heard, huh? Sometimes I see these some stylist or a makeup artist or somebody who comes to work with me and has worked with me for a while. They're like, you know what? People think you're very arrogant, or that, oh my God, it's very difficult to speak to her. Arey, but she must be so difficult to work with.
That's what I meant.
Yeah. And then she's like, when you start working with you, they're like, no, she's actually a bit of an introvert. She probably speaks a bit less. And that's all it is. And then when you start working with her, she's the easiest to work with. She's the most down to earth. She's the most I'm not just praising myself. I swear. You can go
I
check
get
on this.
I get
But
that.
those are the things that that I hear then. But yeah, I think this is just a perception of it. I don't know. Maybe most introverts get this. Or ambiverts. There's a new word now called ambivert. We're in
So
the middle.
it comes down to beauty. Have you ever felt that your looks have kind of worked against you in getting people to take you seriously? It's like this we're talking, like you mentioned all those other people who had this kind of opinion
Yeah.
that you're difficult to be with or you're arrogant, and once they start working with you, they realize that you're the coolest person on earth.
Yeah, I'm easy. I'm an easy person to work with.
But you
But
get that.
I do get, yeah, I get to hear that. I'm like, what? Are you serious? Is that what they think about me? My reaction is usually like that. Because I don't think that's the person I am inside. like not even this much.
No.
I think arrogance is just too petty a thing to be, honestly. Yeah.
You get the impression that the industry is more comfortable working with beautiful women who are compliant than someone who is self-directed and intelligent.
I have no idea. I have no idea. I think the directors that I have worked with have had pleasant experiences, and I think I mean, I don't know. I don't know what compliance means. Does it mean that you're not allowed to ask a question? How is a compliant person? I don't know. Is that better to be? I don't know. Is that, does that make you a better actor that you're compliant?
No,
Or
they're
is it
more comfortable, easier
easier to
working
work
with
with if you're
someone.
compliant?
Huh?
Well, I suppose so, but I don't know. I feel I think I'm compliant to a director when I have to listen to what his, like, for example, Honey wanted a certain kind of performance, and I was extremely compliant to the fact that he wanted a restrained performance. He understood, like, even if I wanted to go slightly over and do a bit more with everything, like maybe my hands was, and he just didn't want any of that, and he wanted a lot more restraint. So I did comply, and I've given some 38 takes for one shot that he wanted a certain way, because this is what he had in mind, even though he took my third or the fourth take was finally taken on the edit. But I gave 38 takes for that particular shot at 5 degrees, with no, like, barefoot standing in the outside in the grass. But I mean, I just feel like compliance, I don't know what that means. I'm totally compliant to the director and his vision, absolutely.
Okay, since you mentioned Honey and we're talking about the Bansal murders,
Yeah.
Rata Ke Liye, the sequel, I'm going to be reading what I have read on the net about you, your performance, by fans and critics.
Okay.
I don't know what you've done in that film. I have not seen it yet. I shall see it tonight after this conversation.
Okay.
But critics and fans are blown away by your quiet, impactful presence. Okay? That is what they say. You are understated and powerful. You walk into the frame and the energy shifts. Grace, mystery, and quiet strength all in one performance. You convey so much just with your eyes.
Okay. That's whoever's thought
No,
like that. Thank you.
no one does subtle intensity like you.
Oh, I
And
like that.
who needs screen time when you have the kind of screen impact that you've put out here? And finally, the most powerful performances speak the softest.
Oh my God.
So, these are some of the comments I read on the net
They are
about.
very intelligently sort of worded. I think
This is not
there's.
just one fan or a critic. These are, I've kind of
Oh
curated
my
them from a
God.
lot.
Thank you so much for liking it, and saying such deep words for my performance. Yeah, that's, thank you so
So, what did
much.
you do? What did you do in this film that has got this kind of feedback?
See, like I said, I was a compliant actor. The first time that I met Honey for Meera Bansal, the character, he said to me that, when I read the script, Smita ne jab kahani mujhe sunai, I only had you in mind for this. It's like, this has to be Chitrangada who will play this. And I said, why? So he said that, so the thing is that there are a lot of silences in the film.
Yeah.
There's not too much of dialogue bazi वगैरह नहीं है, बहुत कम limited conversations हैं. But there has to be a lot in her being. It's just in her presence that she needs to carry so much with her. And that is why he said such restrained performance needs to be there. There cannot be throwing of the hands and, or, whatever. There's no, like, raising your voice and all of that. Can't happen.
So, the emotion is an
It's
expression, not an action.
yeah, it's an expression. It's internalized. You're carrying that weight of the death of your son, and it's just in you, everything. So yeah, I suppose that was his brief, and I tried to do that. Yeah, that's what I did. I mean, really, this is all Honey and Smita's whole.
Their vision.
It's absolutely their vision. Yeah. That's what
You
they thought.
talked about, I mentioned an interview you gave recently in which you talked about bad decisions and choices. And you did say there that you turned down two very big celebrated movies
Yeah.
that became big movies subsequently. But you never really explained why you turned down Gangs of Wasseypur
Okay,
for.
I just want to make a correction on this one, huh? Somebody got this wrong. It wasn't
But it's
Anurag.
everywhere, huh, this particular thing.
That's I really want to correct this because Anurag Kashyap नहीं बोला था, मैंने अनुराग बासु बोला था, and the film was Gangster.
Not Gangs of Wasseypur.
No, it was Gangster. It was Shiny and Kangana's Gangster. It was the film that he had offered me.
Oh,
So somebody got it wrong. It is not Anurag Kashyap's.
everybody's got it
I
wrong.
know it's bizarre how I read it. I was going to message Anurag Kashyap for this
Oh,
because it's Anurag Basu's film, the one I was talking about. That's what he came to me with, right after he did Murder. Yeah.
but you also said no to Anand L. Rai's Tanu Weds Manu. Manu Weds Tanu.
Yeah.
You didn't explain why you said no to both these directors.
Okay. Yeah, I've never said why. So Gangster came right after Murder, and it was a certain kind of film. I was advised by some people at that point that you shouldn't work with a director like him who's just done Murder because we don't know what he would make with a Gangster. And because you've done a film like Hazaro, this is not what you should do, right? And at that point, I mean, it was too early in my career. I really had no idea about film, so you sort of only listen to people, you listen to advice, and then you'd be like, ha, take it, because I had zero ideas. I had anyway. You can't blame people. I should have been wiser maybe, but उस समय तो यही हुआ था. And Tanu Weds Manu, again somebody advised me because there's a film that Anand had done before that. I think there was KK in it. It was called Guest House or something. I don't remember exactly. Very bad with names, sorry. Must something like that. And they said that, he's this is such a weird idea. Tanu Weds Manu. It's such a weird idea that it may not land and maybe you shouldn't do this. So two very bad advices and I took them. But to be fair, I'm glad I didn't do Tanu Weds Manu because I think Kangana has done the best anybody could have done. Like I
You
think
feel
she's
that way. You didn't when you saw
absolutely.
the film. You didn't think that
I,
you would have
I
done
I
it
was
differently.
crying inside. I was crying
You're crying
inside.
inside.
Like why did I not do like? I mean, it was just I was crying inside. Honestly, lekin she did a brilliant job. She was brilliant, and she was even more brilliant in the second one, Returns, where she played a double role. She was just, yeah, blown away.
So you're telling me that people's opinions and advice cost you these
Yeah.
films. Why did you not trust your own instincts at that point of
I
time?
had no
Were you
instinct.
going through self-doubt?
I had no instinct, honestly. I had no understanding of कि ये बन सकता है. Firstly, I I think I'm extremely fortunate that I got a film like Hazaro, which has such deep, complex kind of cinema, where somebody don't think कि अच्छा आपको तो बहुत पता होगा cinema के बारे में. I literally had no idea. I literally reacted through the whole film. I don't think I understood the graph. I didn't understand characterization. मुझे ये कुछ समझ ही नहीं आता था. ये सब लोग बैठ के बात करते थे. When the reading used to happen, KK, and of course Sudhir and Saurabh Shukla, and all these, like these all actors of, this sort of potential. And I'd just be like, Mera graph kya hai? What is my graph? How do I start? What? I had zero understanding. So Sudhir used to only tell me that just keep reacting. Don't try and act. Please don't try and act. So I honestly had no understanding at all about filmmaking, about films. Like who's this director? What is this kind of work? What can this be? Who's the producer? What? I had zero understanding, like zero.
But yet this film and this role, you kind of hit it out of the park. You were
I
you
did.
were appreciated.
Yes. I mean,
You were nominated for awards. You got one award
I
also.
did. I got the debut award. Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm still being very honest. I do not know what my process was, but if I was put in a scene where, Ram is, who's playing my husband in the film, he's trying to, force himself on me, and I have to get angry in that scene. This is a pretty intense scene, and he says some line, and she just turns around and she says that, thank you so much, you just made it easy for me, and she walks away from him. It was a very intense scene, and I thought, Patani, how is she going to do it all? I just kept reacting. He said, you will only react to everything. And I don't think we went beyond second or the third take. We did not.
For your first film,
For my first film.
2 takes, and yet
Yes.
Rata ke liye 38 takes.
First time in my life. But Nawaz has given 12 takes. So who am I? Yeah, so everyone was giving a lot of takes. It was just, yeah. But that's fine. That's okay.
You have been quoted as having said that the industry has short memory.
Yes.
People forget
Yeah.
what you have done. They forget your work, and you have to keep reminding them. So every time there was a break in your career, is that what you had to do? You had to keep reminding people that, I've done this film and I've done this work.
No, that is why I said I'm thankful, because usually, yes, they have a short memory. Especially when it comes to women, they do have a short memory. Men somehow survive more. I'll give it to you on this one. I give it to you on this one. Men have more shelf life. There is no doubt about that than women. But luckily, even today, if I was to meet, who did I meet last after many years? I met Ram Madhavan. And he said, oh my God, I've been a fan of yours since Hazaro. I want to work with you. So luckily, I mean, I don't know when we work, but if we do, I'm just saying that I haven't had to remind them of the work. Thankfully, that is the one thing that has sort of really helped. I haven't had to remind them of कि मैंने ये किया है. I had to remind them that I'm here and I'm here in the city and I'm back and I stay here and I live here. That I have to remind them. Yes.
You've talked about bad career choices also, and one critic, rather uncharitably, has said that despite your smoldering, stunning looks, many of your films didn't do well. Was that because
Well,
the
thank you for the
characters...
compliment with the looks at least. That's half a compliment. See, I don't know. It's not in my hands.
Were your characters not convincing or what?
I have no idea. I mean, I meet people and they speak to me about Ye Sali Zindagi. They speak to me about my character there. They speak to me about Inkar Maya. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe those films were not big films. They were not commercial films. It was always sort of slightly peripheral in that sense. There were deeper films that probably the masses didn't relate to that much. So I don't have that big an audience for my work. That is possible. Yeah, so you may not in the most sort of, usual sense call it successful, but I think they were films that were remembered. And I honestly feel that's one of the reasons that I was not forgotten. Sometimes you may have some of the biggest commercial hits, but if you were not impactful enough within that commercial hit, I don't know how much people would remember you. But if there's a bad film or there's a film that not bad, if there's an unsuccessful film but you made an impactful sort of, your work was impactful, people will still remember you. I mean, Nawaz is such a good example of somebody who came out of one scene, two scenes, just a flash of him, I feel people don't forget you. So they may not have been successful films or big films, but Nawaz still stays because he's impactful. So I think we sometimes tend to sort of get confused between success and impact. There's a lot of films that have a lot of commercial success, but you won't remember them because they didn't touch you somewhere or they didn't make that impact.
Okay.
There are a lot of those films, big numbers. Oh damn, this was big in the box office. You won't be able to remember them. I don't want to take names, but yes, there will be so many of them. Yeah.
The characters you
Having
play,
said that, I'm not defending what he said. He's right in his place, but this is what I feel can also be a reason. Yeah.
the characters you played, the decisions you took, you said you took some bad decisions, you heard the wrong advice and you listened to people and things like that. Well, you've lived with the courage of your convictions. Do you feel that if you had compromised a little at that point of time in these decisions, you would have had a bigger career today?
No doubt. Mistakes are mistakes, no? I mean, there is no defending them. I don't want to defend them. They were my mistakes, and I think what I learned is उसके बाद से like अपना decision होना चाहिए at the
But
end
are
of
you
it.
are you kind of feeling proud that you never compromised?
Compromised with what?
I think if somebody offered you a role at that point of time and you thought you turned down roles also, like you said. So obviously you did not take them for a reason.
I mean, I don't think I want to call it a compromise. I think if I didn't like the part, I probably didn't do it, the film, because I thought the makers were not that good, or maybe the part was expecting me to be, I don't know, in the name of being a bold part, there was other things expected of me. So I didn't want to do things like that, because I don't think my reason to be here is either to just make money or just survive, thankfully, or just stay valid. I don't think those are the reasons. So if I'm here to do good work, I mean, I would comply as much as I would if the part is great and this is what the director's vision is, and I'm here for that. Yes.
We talked about some very senior actresses a little while ago.
Yes.
You know, real elegant and gorgeous women at their ages. But do you feel that the industry celebrates them or kind of just tolerates them and uses them in special appearances?
Celebrates them for sure, but I think we should also celebrate them as actors, write parts for them. you know there isn't enough getting written for them, and then again, that is probably because they do not fit the usual formula. It'll be harder to find something for them, it'll be harder to write it for them, it'll be harder to put that project together. So I think somewhere it just kind of gets, you know but yeah, we absolutely should. My god, it there's so much you can do with them. Absolutely, I wish somebody would think of something, because those stories only women like that can carry. It's tough to find women of that grace or that much life lived. Yeah.
What's the I'm sorry, I'm coming back to your age now. What's the most liberating thing about being the age you are in an industry that is obsessed with youth?
What is liberating is that I think my or anyone my age, like if you look at Karina or Kajol or Rani, my god, I love her. All these actresses have lived life. So I think at this point, they have so much more emotional range, so much more emotional depth, because they've lived that much of life, that they will bring so much more on camera today. The only thing we need is to have writers that can write that can write stories or characters of that caliber. you know I think we have so many amazing performances waiting from actresses like that, because their rage now, after all that experience and all that life and all that emotional experience that they have, there would be such amazing performances waiting in all these actresses if somebody just wrote parts for them. So I think that is what is liberating, or the advantage, whichever way, that you've seen so much that you can bring all that on camera today, which is very difficult for a 18 or a 20-year-old or a 25-year-old. They've not lived that life and they've not had those emotional experiences. They can't possibly find that kind of depth. you know I mean, there's only some kinds of films that you can write for them.
You talked about that age. You entered when you were 30, 2005,
I was
29.
24, 25. No, I was 26, 26, something, whatever the number was. What's the number that you said? 29, 28,
29, 29, 30,
25, I think.
25.
I was 25, yeah.
So let's say somebody with your talent and your kind of spine, that age, walks into the industry today. would you ask that actress, that young starlet, or whatever you call her,
Yeah.
to be brave about her choices like you were, or to be smart?
I think both. You have to be smart as well. You have to hustle as well.
You have to hustle.
Have to. You have to hustle. Have to. That's what I've learned now, much later in my life. Hustle is a good thing, you know. I don't know, it's not always a negative thing. Hustle is also when you're at it constantly to make sure that people know that you really, really want to do this. You really, really want to be here. It's not a sense of complacency around say, oh, you know, come to me and I'm waiting. No, you have to make those phone calls. Oh, such and such project is happening. Make a call to the director or the producer. You know, I'd love to come. Even if you want me to audition, I will come and audition. But just why don't you have a look at me? I just did a photo shoot. This is what I look like. That's the kind of hustle I'm talking about. You really have to be out there.
Are you telling me that you do this still?
I don't. And I didn't do it even then.
You didn't do it then. I know.
I didn't
So
do it then.
it's not a new attitude.
No,
This is not what has got you 3
not at all.
films in this year.
Not at all.
Not
No,
at all.
not at all. This is pure destiny, my God.
So that was karma. Three movies coming.
That's
to you
all.
this year.
I don't know what else to say. What else to say thanks to. That's all this is, yeah.
With the kind of success that Raat Akeli Hai is getting, do you get the impression that OTT is more meaningful and friendly with you than theatrical cinema has been?
That's my new best friend. Yeah, I think it's kind of offered me more varied work than films, I suppose. Yeah. Also, because I don't know why people don't think of me commercially. I have no idea. I don't know why. Why do I only, you know, sort of get offered films that they feel is how do you say, art cinema or parallel cinema? I don't know. I don't know, because I find today only I was talking to somebody and I said that to a, you know, interviewer, and I said today the gap between an actor and a star is almost blurring. You have to be a good actor to be a big star. Earlier, you could get away with being a mediocre kind of an actor. And I don't mean mediocre, but like not such an amazing actor. But just the charm and just your personality, your persona would carry you through films, you know. And people would just come there just to watch you. It doesn't happen anymore. Today, you have to be a good actor to be a good, I mean, to become a star,
A saleable star.
a saleable star. Yeah, I think you know that's very important. So I don't know why there is this difference in, oh, you're a good actor, let's get you more work on OTT. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's what you meant, right?
That's what I
Yeah, I don't know why that happens. Maybe people should think differently. Yeah.
You've done, we're talking about your acting here, and you have done what they call an item number also.
Huh, did.
And you have talked about being very comfortable in that space
Yeah.
and very happy doing that.
I had a great time.
You had.
Yes, I had a ball. I had a great time. Firstly, because the first time I did it for Joker, there's the song called Kafirana that Farah had directed. I had no idea that I could do that. Like zero confidence. And I don't know, just Farah met me outside a skin doctor's clinic. I still remember. So her appointment was before mine, and I was waiting for mine. And she came out, she's like, I'm so sorry. And and she's like, my God, look at you. You look so amazing, and this, that, and your skin color. And soon after that, I get a call, listen, you have to do this song in our film. I said, are you serious? I've never danced. Like, I've never danced, you know. And she convinced me, and I did it, and I had such a great time. And then when, you know, Bhansali's, he was a producer for this film that I did, Kundi. So I met him and he showed me the whole choreography, and he was very, very keen that someone who has this kind of very Indian, dusky, raw kind of, sensuality should do this song, because it needed that. It was such a big song. And I said, okay, I don't know if I can, because, it's a very uninhibited kind of sensuality, and that's not who I am in real. I'm a different kind of person. And he's like, this is the part. It's almost like you have to play a part, it's your act. And that's exactly what it was. I really had to be, there needs to be this abandonment about your sexuality, which is Not something that comes easily to me. But I had such a great time. It was almost like I was playing a part.
So you really enjoyed being in that space.
Yes,
And if I recall, you danced with what they call as gay abandon. You threw
completely.
yourself into that.
I did, and I honestly am not kidding. I looked at it as a performance, as much as if I had to play a Notch girl in a film. I was literally looking at it as a performance. Like, can I become this person? Because that, even when I watch that song today, I'm like, that's not me. It's not me as a person. I'm completely opposite. So yeah, I literally looked at it as a performance, and I had a good time.
Forgive me for saying this, but that performance of yours had the same kind of raw sexuality that Chikni Chameli Nagnipat did for Katrina Kaif.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I
And
think it did. Yes.
she was not typically Indian, like you described yourself earlier, of dusky complexion. But she also did that, and both of you carried it off with remarkable ease.
Yeah, I think so. She's wonderful. She's such an amazing actor. And the beauty about Katrina, I feel, is that, she doesn't make anything look, how do you say, uncomfortable. There's something really beautiful about her sensuality. And I think that's the idea is to celebrate that feminine beauty through these films, whether it was Vahida ji who did it back then, or Helen ji did it, or Parveen Babi. I mean, this is part of cinema. I don't know how we get so harsh with our criticism sometimes with song and dance, because that's who we are essentially. Yeah.
I want to talk about Surma,
Yes.
your production in 2018. Why did you choose a subject like sports for your first film?
एक तो ना, I didn't want to be a producer, honestly. That was not the idea, and I'm not a full-time producer. It was because, see, like we were just discussing, I wasn't getting the kind of work I wanted to do at that time. Literally not doing much at all. And I was going through a bit of a like, now what? And like, you gotta wait again for something good to come by. And that's the time I happened to meet Sandeep Singh through a friend. And मुझे उसके बारे में कुछ नहीं पता था. मैंने कभी नाम नहीं सुना था संदीप सिंह का. I mean, can you imagine? एंड इसे नहीं उसको अवार्ड मिल रहा है. ऐसे किस बात का अवार्ड मिल रहा है? अरे आपको पता नहीं है, कैप्टन ऑफ द इंडियन हॉकी टीम, एशिया कप जीते हैं, ये जीते हैं, आज तक कभी इतना कुछ नहीं जीता है इंडिया, एंड फास्टेस्ट ड्रैग फ्लिकर है कंट्री का, मतलब वर्ल्ड का फास्टेस्ट. एंड देन आफ्टर दैट, द फैक्ट दैट ही वेंट थ्रू paralysis. He was on a wheelchair,
Yeah.
waist down. Doctor said you'll never stand, walk, run, koi chance hi nahi hai. And then he becomes the fastest drag flicker. So I'm like, I was just shocked.
That was a story that had to be told.
It was a story that had to be told. And I've had kind of a sporting background, in my family. So I know how difficult it is for a comeback in sports, and that too this kind of physical team sport. It is almost next to impossible. There is no other story that you would hear of somebody walking out of a wheelchair after paralysis and becoming the captain of the Indian team, and then the fastest drag flicker in the world. And the reason why I said I will not sell this story is because I said it has to be made the right way. इसमें कोई मसाला नहीं डाल सकते, इसमें कोई एक मतलब silly angles नहीं. It just cannot do that. You can't corrupt this story. And if this man has given his rights to me, and I've assured him कि एक respectable film बनेगी without making you look, stupid, I have to make it happen. So that's the only reason. So I started writing, and then I wrote those 20-pager thing on it and started pitching. And that's when Sony came on board. Thank you so much, Sony and Sneha Rajani. Yes.
You just said you're not a full-time producer. This was 2018.
Yes.
7 years.
Yeah.
You've not made another film. You've not produced another film since then.
No.
But you lately talked about wanting to direct a film. And it would be nice if you did a kind of chick flick with. So
Yeah.
what makes you think that you would be a better director than a producer?
Oh God, no. It was just a conversation that we were having. I was giving an interview to, Omkar, and at Bombay Times. And he was like, Acha, so what would you... I said, you never know what might happen next. So like what? I was like, I might direct at some point. So what would you want to direct? I said, "Abhi batati hu." It literally was like, I would love to make films with women. It'd be nice. That's when I said, I'll cast Karina and Alia and Kiara and myself, and then I gave them a story, which I just read in the article. I'm like, that's a really good story that I came up with. So yeah, it was just that. It was just a conversation we were having.
But why did you pick women? You also said in another interview that you feel women understand women's emotions better.
Yeah, they do, but like Smita has done a great job with this Raat Akeli hai as well. But मुझे ऐसा लगता है कभी-कभी a man's point of view is also quite interesting. Sometimes it's different than
It's different.
a woman is slightly more sympathetic and a lot more how do I say, likes to glorify
Yeah.
what they're going through as opposed to what a man's going through. So there's always this comparison, which I don't sort of enjoy watching. इसलिए मैंने कहा था कि sometimes a man's point of view on a woman is actually more interesting. But yeah, I mean, my only reason is because I think women ka emotions are far more interesting. I just find it more interesting.
More complex.
It's more complex, it's more complex. She's always sort of bouncing between being really strong but then getting weak, but has to, emotion plays part and gets vulnerable but hardens up. And it's so interesting to watch that happen. And there is a whole maternal angle to her, and then she becomes a sort of savior of that same child and everything. So yeah, that's why.
I know you can't talk about Galwan, but I'm not going to ask you about the film. But you made a couple of comments that were taken up. You said that you're Salman Khan's oldest heroine.
Oh yeah, they said that to me. Yes.
His last film, they talked about Rashmika. They said she was his youngest heroine.
Oh my God. One after the other.
And he's
Okay.
turning 60.
Yes.
What is different about Salman that you had to give your best?
What I meant by that was that, considering that, see, there is a different tone or a meter to every film. I also gave my best for Houseful because I think the meter on that film was completely different than, say, a Khaki Bengal chapter I did just before that.
Yeah.
So I did my best, meaning trying to match that tone, that meter. Joe, Aki, and Abhishek, and Ritesh, and everybody. It's a completely different sort of. It's different. Everything is different. The way you sit, the way you talk, your voice, your diction, everything has to be different. So that's what I meant. So that I do not stick out. I was very, very careful of that in Houseful. When I'm talking of Galwan, what I meant was that it is a commercial film. He is a commercial star. When it comes to, say, a song or a scene, it has to be played at a certain meter which matches him or the film.
Okay.
And I think that is something that I was quite wary of. I think I couldn't have possibly given a performance that I would possibly give in a Raat Akeli. It's different. They both are different. So just that's what I meant, that I gave my best. And I was definitely in a lot of pressure that this should work. For like, if I'm being cast for a certain reason, I should be able to bring that to the table. I think that's the kind of pressure I felt. I mean, he's such a huge star, and I mean, you get slightly, I wouldn't say intimidated, but you definitely get a sense of who you are with in a frame.
He has a presence.
He definitely has a huge presence. Huge presence.
You're an army man's daughter.
Yeah.
So was it like getting into fatigues for this movie? Was it like very natural? You felt comfortable doing it?
I did. It was a very familiar kind of, feeling, like how an army officer's wife would be, how would she behave, and, so yeah, it felt very familiar.
Felt
All
good.
of that, yes. Yeah.
My final question to you is that is there any part within you, your talent, I mean, your acting talent, that you feel has been untapped and you would like to produce and direct a film
Oh my God.
just to bring out this side of you?
I don't want to produce and direct that. I wish somebody else does it for me.
But you feel that there is something in you that has not been tapped yet.
Absolutely. I want to do an action film. I want to be the Indian Lara Croft.
You do?
That's what I want to do. Yeah, I've been manifesting it. Like, I've really been wanting to do action for a while. So I would love to do that. Yeah. Hopefully. We should both manifest together.
I'll manifest. These are hampers from our sponsors.
Oh, wow.
These are scented candles from Parme.
Okay.
I hope you like scented candles.
I do. My house is full of candles. Thank you so much.
This hamper is from Sante.
Okay.
It's very heavy. I'll
Oh,
keep it
wow.
here.
We'll keep it here.
Spa cuisine.
Oh,
Vegan food.
nice. This is all healthy stuff, huh?
Utterly healthy. You love
Okay.
it.
I would love that.
Thank
I
you
hope
very
that
much
happens.
for this.
Thank you.
It was lovely talking to you.
Yes, it was, Mark. It was lovely talking to you. Thank you.